Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers, and it's time for a movie review. Today we're talking about Into the Spider-Verse. That's right everybody, welcome here to Pop Culture Philosophers. It's time for a movie review. There's that new Sony animation Spider-Man movie, Into the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales, and his cinematic debut. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is
Jelani Bullard.
This is
Brooks.
The Magnificent, and magnificent you are for checking out this video. Today we're going to be talking about Into the Spider-Verse. I loved this film. I thought it was amazing. Me and Brooks watched it in 3D. You didn't watch it in 3D, right? So we got the different perspectives, right? I love this film. It was amazing. I was really scared that this movie, first of all, they first announced they were going to do a Miles Morales-centric movie. I was down for that. Miles is a great character, created by Brian Michael Bendis and Sarah Pichelli. We were doing next week. We're doing a comic book review of his comic book, me and Brooks. So we read the book. We were excited for this. We've been fans of Miles for a while, and when they announced that it was going to be a Spider-Verse movie, I got really nervous. I was like, well, it's going to really focus on all these different Spider-Man, not really focus on Miles or anything. No, this is a Miles movie. It handles it so well. It's next level, groundbreaking, next gen animation. The 3D effects were amazing and brilliant. It has an amazing soundtrack. It's got emotional resonance in the story. It's humorous. It's action-packed. Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Ham, they're hilarious. Spider is fantastic. Yeah. The Gerard Way Spider-Man. All the other Spider-Man characters are great. Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen, looks amazing, sounds amazing, acts amazing. The old school Peter Parker is amazing, but Miles is spot on. This is his story. My one problem, not enough Genki, but I get there was already so much in this movie. I loved it. I thought, like, it's one of the best animated films I've ever seen. Now that my rant's over. Jelani, what do you think about this movie?
I loved it. Into the Spider-Verse may be like one of my favorite Spider-Man films, like in general. Even if they, you know what, I don't think they could have made this live action, but I really think they could have too, in some ways. Okay. This film is perfect. They follow a singular character. He goes through his life, and it shows like each Spider-Man. I like how they introduce each Spider-Man, and you get it. Like, it's a team film, but it stars a singular character that you can follow.
Yes.
I love it. I love that you have to get all the cool, or you don't really have to get all the cool references, actually, to enjoy, like, how seamless this story is. It is like, Spider-Man, first of all, you meet Peter Parker, Spider-Man. He tells you the story that he's Spider-Man. And then he goes through a regular day of being Spider-Man. It shows all the funny scenes that you know from Spider-Man 2 and 3.
Yeah, you get the idea this is a continuation of Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Right, you get a good deal of who this Peter Parker is. And then it moves to other characters. And you see, like, this world. And it's so easy that you have all these pieces, all these moving pieces going on in this film. Yeah. And it's cohesive. And it makes sense. And the animation is gorgeous. Yes. Like, each world that these spider characters come from, it's like, distinctive. It's very distinctive. You know they come from somewhere else. And then you know, other than kind of like Peter Parker, who's there, and Gwen, she's kind of there. And they're your central characters anyway, so you don't want them. But Spider-Ham, like you said, looks like a cartoon. Yeah. It does cartoon stuff. You got the spider robot. It's straight anime.
Penny Parker.
Penny Parker is amazing. I loved every character. My favorite is Spider-Man Noir.
Spider-Man Noir is great.
That's Nicolas Cage. Yes. I didn't even know that because I was sitting there listening to it. I was like, wait a minute. Is that Nicolas Cage?
Oh man, he says the funniest lines too.
He does. He has the best.
Sometimes I just light a match and hold it into my fingers until it burns down so I can feel something.
It's nuts. I mean,
he's so hard-boiled.
Yeah,
it's great, man.
Now, as much praise as I'm giving it, you know, I do have some criticisms too. I mean, I don't think the villains were as fleshed out as I thought they could be. Because you show, of course, you're moving all these pieces and you're showing all these characters.
And we may hit in a little bit of spoiler territory in this video, but not too much. Yeah. I don't think there's too much to spoil.
We're not spoiling. We're not spoiling.
We'll spoil a little bit. We'll spoil a little bit.
You need to watch it.
You should watch it.
But the villains in this film, I'm not going to tell anything about it. Now, of course, I was going to do that anyway, but...
Well, we typically spoil it.
Yeah, we spoil movies,
can spoil
but
it
we're
if
not
we
going
want
to do this for this film, because it's not... you need to watch it. It is, like, the villains in the movie come out of nowhere in parts. I like the introduction of one villain in particular.
Who?
Really?
Yeah, who? There may be spoilers. Who?
There are going to be spoilers. It's the Lady Doc Ock.
Oh, yeah.
When you have Doc Ock,
what
and
did they call her?
They call her, her name was Liv.
Liv.
It was like Liv or something. And she was in a video. They were showing this collider that the Kingpin was creating to help make the city better or something. Or it was a project.
Yeah.
The Animax project or whatever it was. And she meets up with the old Peter Parker. Like, she meets up with old Parker, and like slowly she like gets him in a chair, and you think she's like this innocent scientist. She's really just into this, but then all of a sudden you find out who she is while she's sitting there, and the reveal is so clean. And I'm like, oh my, and then they just come out of her back. Like the tentacles just come out, and I'm like, no, y'all didn't. And it was just, I loved it. That's one of my favorite villains.
Absolutely.
Like, and she was awesome. But going ahead with this movie, I love every piece of it. Like the relationships between Miles and his father.
Yes.
And also with his uncle, and how they wanted him to grow as a person, but they didn't, like, one didn't know how to express it as well, but the other one knew how to express it, but it was in kind of in negative ways.
Yes.
And it's I love that dynamic between the father and the uncle of how they pull Miles and how they form Miles into the Spider-Man that he becomes.
That's one of my favorite bits of the comic book. Yeah. And I love that came across in the movie.
It's so cleanly done. And it's beautiful. Like, man, I love this film.
Speaking of beautiful and loving, Brooks, what do you think about this movie?
I hated it.
I always hate these things.
I think he's joking.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Tell
good.
us what you like about it.
Well, I really like the animation style, and I like the story. I was never bored watching this movie. I've always felt like, I was being entertained, or like I was learning something, like from so I could see what was going on.
Yeah.
It's and it's very fun, and the 3D is pretty good.
I was very surprised.
I'd probably still say I'd rather watch it in 2D, but
really?
I don't think the 3D was better than the last movie I saw in 3D.
That was one of the best 3D movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's pretty.
To be honest,
it's pretty good.
So, all right, so pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good 3D.
Pretty good.
But the movie itself.
Oh yeah, the movie's
pretty solid. Yeah. Pretty solid. What do you think? How did they handle the character of Miles? I think they handled Miles perfectly. What do you think?
They made him a separate character. This isn't even Ultimate Spider-Man. This isn't Ultimate Spider-Man. They made an entire world for Miles Morales and told a great story from the books that you could relate to.
Yeah.
Miles is a very relatable kid. He's cool.
This version of Miles seems more artistic too than
the
comic book.
Yeah, he is.
He's a lot more, So, like I said, this is a different... I think this is just a different Miles. Yeah. Like I said, from the multiverse.
But it's still a lot.
But a lot of it is there. And his character, like, he's not dull at all. Like, you want a protagonist that takes you and carries you through a story, so you understand what you're trying to convey to the audience, which you worked well. Well, who directed this movie? Do you
like
guys
3
know?
Different people. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, the animators and the writers, whoever made this film. Oh my God, you made some characters. I mean, you made Miles' parents compelling as well. I mean, and they're side characters.
Yeah, and Aaron.
And Aaron. Oh man,
a great character, and even as the Prowler, great Kingpin, Scorpion, all that stuff.
Scorpion.
Yeah, Brooks, what do you think about the character of Miles? How did they handle that character in this movie?
Well, he's pretty much the same as he is in the comic. I remember, because we recently went through those old Ultimate comics.
Yeah,
where,
where
he first appeared. It's pretty kind of the same. Not exactly though. They do switch up a few things. Like, he seems a little older, I think, in this.
He does.
Like,
He's
I
not
think
like
it'd be
13.
this would be more around the time where he would be, doing the
In his
Spider-Man No
prime.
More thing,
Yeah.
where he'd be taking the break. But
the character itself still holds true. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think they really did Miles good for this movie. I think it
I love Old Man
people
Peter
enjoy it.
in this movie.
Yeah, Loser
Old Man
Peter.
Parker's good. Loser Peter's great.
Loser Peter is
Talk
the
about
best
that
one.
real quick.
Yeah, Loser Peter, he's fun because it's just a Spider-Man. Like, he's still going, but like everything he had to fight for is gone.
Yes.
So it's like he doesn't even care anymore. He's just lounging around, fucking around.
But he has an arc too.
He has a great arc.
Him and Miles
Everyone does.
They're kind of pretty close together.
Yeah, dude, it's a great relationship, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. So what do you think about it, John?
Man, Old Man Peter
Yeah.
is like I think he's our Spider-Man. Like I think that's our
I think
Spider-Man.
that's Tobey
He seems
Maguire's
like
Tobey
Spider-Man.
Maguire's Spider-Man
It's
that's
very
grown
similar
up.
to like last year's Spider-Man, like before he got hooked back up with MJ.
Yeah.
Where
Oh,
like
yeah.
basically he just lost his company.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't get a job.
He's
just
had it
Loser
rough.
Peter. It is.
Him and MJ have split. Things aren't
Aunt May
going well.
died.
He's losing. He's
gaining
gaining weight.
Yeah.
he's got a gut. I've never seen a Spider-Man costume where the Spider-Man had a gut.
Yeah,
This
man.
is great, man.
When he puts on the mask, how classic it looks.
Yeah.
Man. It looks so good.
They did that for the other Spider-Man too. The blonde Peter Parker.
Yes, they did.
Man.
Oh, love it. Spider-Gwen's in this movie.
Yep.
Albeit briefly, but one of the things I want to say, you mentioned this briefly earlier, is that each Spider-Man's world had its own distinctive look. And in the comic books, because Spider-Man or Spider-Gwen was co-created by Robbie Rodriguez, right? The art in that book, it's all fluorescent,
Yeah.
and phosphorus. It's all like it's like glowing and crazy. It looked like
looked
that,
like
and
the
it just
world.
was such a beautiful animation. I thought, first of all, why does every Spider-Man aside from Peter Parker have the better Spider-Man costume?
I don't know.
Miles has got a
has the
better
best-
costume.
Miles
Miles
got a better
has the best one.
costume.
Gwen's got a better costume. Miguel's got a
Miguel's
better costume.
God, he's got a
Spider-Ham's
better-
got a better costume because he's got the little
Because
nose.
he's got the nose with
He's
the
got-
things.
yes.
Yeah.
Noir, for sure.
Noir is clean.
But Gwen's great in this movie, too. What do you think about Gwen?
Gwen Stacy comes at you like she's that tomboy, but at the same time you get the essence that is Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
And you get the fact that she had a loss, and you feel the loss. Like I said, each story is contained. Like they somehow tell you a snapshot of each character.
Yeah.
And Gwen had a compelling story for that.
I love the repeated structure.
Yeah.
Let's go through this one more time.
Let's go through this one more time. Let me tell you how long I've been doing this. Like I'm Spider-Man. I've been Spider-Man for 10 years. Then Loser Spiders, I've been doing this for 22 years.
Yeah.
Gwen's been doing it for 2 years.
Yeah.
And like it's a structure of how she was. At first I thought they were gonna pull the Miles and Gwen love interest kind of situation. They didn't. They went the friendship route, which I like because of this film.
And apparently,
I like how it worked, and I like their chemistry as well.
I don't know their names. Apparently, in the writer room, right, there was like maybe like 4 to 5 guys, and one lady, right? And so they wanted to push it into that direction, which they allude that they may do that in the sequel. But she was like, guys, let's slow this up.
Slow
real quick.
down, because you can make a world out
And
of
I
this.
love that they slowed it down. I
Yeah.
love that moment when he goes like, friends? She's like, and they just dab.
Friends.
And I like that moment. What do you think about Gwen in this movie?
I thought Gwen was pretty good. I mean, I haven't read Spider-Gwen.
Neither.
Okay.
But I did read a couple of issues because they had a crossover with
Yeah.
Ultimate Spider-Man.
And that's, so
And
that
I thought
relationship,
it was an interesting looking world, like from what little
It
I
is,
saw.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've just never
They captured that
seen
though.
it. But it really looked good on the screen too.
I think in the sequel they plan on doing it mostly from Gwen's perspective. And I think
Yeah.
that would be a
they
great
should.
idea. Because overall what this movie teaches us is that anybody can be Spider-Man.
Yep.
That's the theme of this movie to me. Spider-Man is not Peter Parker. Spider-Man is not Miles Morales or Gwen Stacy
Nope.
or Nicolas Cage even. As amazing as Nicolas Cage was. And how awesome is it to see Gerard McWay? Gerard Way's Spider-Man version from Spider-Verse, the Spider, with Penny Parker. I love it. To see Noir, to see Spider-Ham. Spider-Ham is the character
They look so
Peter
unique.
Parker we have loved since we were children.
Yeah.
Because it was just such a
It's
goofy,
a goofy.
character,
He's
right?
bitten by a radioactive pig.
Yes.
He's like a Frog Thor kind
And
of.
how awesome was he in this book?
Yes.
Right? You know, in
He
this
fit.
movie.
Everyone fit.
But the overall theme to me is that anybody can be Spider-Man. And Spider-Man is an idea about standing up, about having responsibility with the power. And that's what Stan Lee represented. Love Stan Lee's cameo. Yeah. Love the tribute at the end. That was heartfelt, right?
Yeah. That was beautiful.
That was beautiful.
And Steve Ditko. Post-credit scene.
Well, there is a post-credit scene, but I convinced Brooks not to watch it because I'm tired of being forced to watch all these things because I know it's going to be on the internet in a couple days.
Yeah.
But I did read the description, and it seems really exciting. So, man, it does suck that we missed it.
It's so good!
So don't miss out on that. Let's talk real briefly before we wrap up about the villains. So the main villain is Kingpin. I like the idea that Kingpin's going through all this multiversal stuff because he's trying to bring back his wife and kid.
Yeah. But he
doesn't need to bring back that kid because that kid becomes the Rose.
Yeah.
Gangster. You know?
We don't know if that happens in this universe, though, apparently.
Oh, whatever. I'm just trying to make a fun joke for people that read Spider-Man comics in the 80s. Can you get over it? Anyway,
I see him wearing a purple mask.
I like the motivation. We got Green Goblin for a smidgen. I like that. Yeah. Green Goblin looked cool. I wish we could have gotten more. I wish Norman would have been a bigger deal. But he wasn't, and I understand why, because he wasn't really that big of a deal in Miles' story, except for the launch to kill Peter, right?
He wasn't as tied to him.
I will say this, though. Sony is testing what they need to do with Scorpion in this movie. Yeah. What do you think about it? I kind of dug it. What do you think?
I really
They're
like
testing
Scorpion.
it. You saw how it looked like the dude that was in Homecoming, right?
It does.
Right? They're testing how people are going to respond to that. What do you think? Does that look cool?
He's got mechanical legs that's open to other legs.
Yeah, and he's got that giant
tail. And he's got the tail.
You think they're going to do that in the Spider-Man live action?
They should.
They're going to do something
They
like
really
that.
should.
This is a test. That?
I hope that Disney can pull it off because Tom Holland's got one film left after Far From Home. So there's Far From Home. Well, I'm sorry. There's Far From Home. Maybe Endgame. And then he's got to do a movie for Sony. Yeah. Do another Spider-Man. So... If they do it,
something with home in the title, I believe.
It, though. Sony would touch
Going
it.
Home,
and Sony would be
Homeward Bound. What if he had a crossover with the dogs?
Like Spider-Man just finds he's like this dog and
is that Scorpion cool enough?
Like, okay, he just picks him up and like swings him to the destination. That's the movie.
What do you think about the villains in the movie?
I like the villains. A lot of them seem to be like mashups of. Like Ultimate Universe versions kind of mashed together with regular versions.
Okay.
And the Scorpion was like that. You know, he looked a lot like the Ultimate version, who was like the Mexican, tough guy, giant. Yeah. But he was mixed with like the, the mechanical aspect of the regular Marvel.
Some of the more recent ones, especially.
They smash them together and it looks great.
All right. It seems like we like this movie. And thematically, I think it's about everybody can be a hero. What do you think thematically this movie's about?
Yeah, everyone can be a hero. With great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, yeah, right?
I mean, sorry, kids.
Is it one of the best Spider-Man movies you've ever seen?
It is one of the best Spider movies I've ever seen.
Like, I think it's my second favorite Spider-Man movie.
I like Spider-Man 2 more.
I don't.
I know no one likes Spider-Man 2.
I do like Spider-Man 2.
I love Spider-Man 2.
It's top 5 for me. My number 1 Spider-Man film is Homecoming. This might be number 2. But I gotta let the glow... glow.
It's a good glow, though. I mean, I can't pick holes in that in the film. Yeah, the villains are perfect.
Your favorite Spider-Man movie? Is it one of them?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into the rating.
I put it slightly above Spider-Man.
Okay. Here at PCP we do ya digs. So out of 5 possible ya digs, Jelani, what do you rate Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
5.
5 ya digs. Perfect score. Why?
Perfect.
Why perfect?
It's not the perfect Spider-Man movie. It's a great movie. I'm glad. I'm giving it a 5 more for this. I'm glad that Sony has finally realized what they're doing with their property.
Okay.
And they're finally utilizing it. And they finally made a cohesive film that I will watch. I can watch more than once. I could put that on and do dishes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I could just
This is a do dishes kind of movie.
And I get distracted.
I get distracted.
Dishes would not get
be a bunch of dirty dishes sitting in there for like 2 weeks.
Yes.
What I'm saying is it's a good background movie. It's a good foreground movie. I could watch it with anyone. I could probably pop it in and show it to my mom. and she would probably enjoy
Yeah,
it.
it's a great movie for anyone.
It's fun
and
for
a great
everybody.
family movie.
It is excellent.
5 you digs.
5 you digs.
Very, very
I'm really-
respectable.
And it's on the big screen right now, so if you can watch it on the big screen, probably in 3D, I suggest you watch it in 3D and get the Blu-ray.
That's a respectable ranking. Prestigious, even.
Yeah.
Speaking of prestigious, Brooks is the opposite of prestigious. Brooks, what do you out of 5 possible you digs? What do you give this movie?
I give it a 4.9.
That's not a thing. You see,
Okay, I give it a 5.
Okay.
I was trying to mess up y'all.
We're gonna round up, man.
Yeah, it's the most entertaining movie I've seen, I think, this year.
Okay, one of your favorite movies of the year.
It's like Infinity War and this one were two of the most
That was this year
entertaining,
too.
Yeah,
like consistently
so was
entertaining
Black
movies
Panther.
for me this year. Yeah, Black Panther was
Panther.
below Infinity War.
Oh, not to me.
It was amazing.
Black Panther's better than Infinity War.
I did like Black Panther, but not as much.
Really?
Oh, you love this movie.
Well,
Yeah.
Infinity War, yeah.
Yeah, this movie was great. I think
Yeah.
anybody could enjoy this movie.
Anybody can.
It's got a little something for everybody, and
Okay.
It mixes all. It's like it has so many like completely different parts to it, like that shouldn't fit together, but it brings them together, and you don't even realize it really.
What does this movie speak to you as? Like, what's the thing?
Well, it's about passing the torch. You can't be afraid to, let the next generation,
Yeah.
take up the responsibility, and that's what Miles is about. Miles is about, the responsibility of Spider-Man on a kid like from our time. Like the time right now. Like
Well,
a kid.
not our time.
Yeah.
No,
The young folks.
Yeah. The youngins. Absolutely, I agree. I give it 5 as well.
Yeah.
I think, and we're not completely sure if anybody out there has been keeping track, and I doubt anybody has. I think this is our first full-on across-the-board 5 you digs. So 5, 5, 5. Average of 5. I love this movie. It's great. It's one of the I think right now, and let the glow fade.
A little bit.
Yeah, you gotta let the glow fade.
Gotta watch it again.
It's my second favorite Spider-Man movie. I love this movie. I love Miles. I thought they did a great job with the character of Miles. Could have used a little bit more Genki, but it had just enough Gwen,
At least
just
they
enough
have
old
him
man
in
Peter.
there.
Yeah, just enough loser Parker.
Yeah.
Enough
Yeah.
Penny and Spider, a little bit of Spider-Ham. I'm pumped for a sequel. Spider-Man Noir was great.
Yeah.
Man, kid, it's a hardcore origin. I love it. It's so great. It's so fun, so refreshing, and like Brooks and like Jelani and like I've said already, this is a movie for everybody. Anybody can be Spider-Man, and anybody can enjoy this Spider-Man film. One of the best movies of the year. One of the best animated films I've ever seen. 5 you digs, 5 you digs, 5 you digs. Perfect score. Might be the first ever here at PCP. We do believe it is.
Yeah.
You can challenge me if you want, but otherwise it's going to stand as the only ever perfect score here at PCP, which damn says a lot. I think.
We gotta watch this video a year from now.
Yes. To see how we feel.
See how we feel about that.
Because sometimes videos don't age so well,
Yeah.
like Jelani's Last Jedi video.
Listen!
Anyway, thank you guys for watching the
Was I in
video.
that video?
Yeah, we want to know what you think
I
about.
said it was good, not great.
We want to know what you think about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse down in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much down below. Why do I keep saying down below? I just repeat myself at the end of these things. I can't figure out how to end these videos.
Stop
I'm
playing
Rockin Robbie Billups. This is...
Jelani Bullard.
This is...
Brooks.
We are Pop Culture Philosophers. Do join us over at Twitter at The PCP Show. And you can follow me personally on Twitter at The Rockin Robbie. Are you on Twitter?
No.
Are you on Twitter?
I like
No.
my job.
Alright, so that's what you guys do. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Umbrellas! We're not supposed to do umbrellas for this one. How do we used to end the movie videos? Oh,
You say umbrellas. You say you dig.
No, it's our Comics Revisited thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Now
Is
you're
that
doing
a part
comics
of like
really.
Comics Revisited you do with him? Are you gonna do the umbrellas thing too?
Yeah, of course.
I guess I'll do
So
the
like it's just a
thing.
Comics Revisited.
So instead, I'll just look right now and go, you dig.
Yeah, that's what you use for the
Yeah.
ones.